the best managers that are out there. But we want to do that, which is the second pillar of the process, is we want to be able to do that while aligning the portfolio with the mission. And like I said, decarbonization on the public side and investing and partnering with the companies and funds that are helping with the renewable energy transition. But the last thing, which is extremely important to me and to the organization, is doing it in an inclusive way. So diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice.
Going back to Mr. Meyer's one charge to us is to, change with the times and respond to the problems of today. We did a lot of our work with our impact statement before COVID. And of course, the world has changed quite a bit since then. And so we're thinking not just with a new mission in mind, but how we're showing up in our grant making side of the house as well, and thinking about what we're doing in education and building wealth in communities, and thinking about the natural and built environment. And we'll start to look at our portfolio in those lenses as well to see how far we can get with on both sides of the house.
We've adopted justice and equity as a pillar and as a focus for our work in our grant making and on the program side. Justice and equity can also become a consideration in how we allocate the capital in our endowment. And Toya, I think your remarks were spot on. That was not being asked, right? And one of the reasons, and one of the things I've shared internally is that this is one of the reasons why it matters who's in leadership, right? And the kinds of questions that I might think to ask in my capacity as a leader, I've had other leaders readily admit, right, just did not occur, right, just is not on the radar screen. And I think about what are the demographics of who manages capital on our behalf, right? I would advise a little bit more appetite for experimentation. Give your team some more latitude to try something. If it has to be cordoned off, if it has to be deliberately queued up as an experiment or as a test or as an opportunity to learn, do that. But the thing I worry about is that trustees are so often thinking about protection, right, and preservation. And we need that. There are organizations and entities and parts of our community that will need funding in perpetuity, and we want to be around in order to be able to fund them. But there's also importance of taking some of that preservation does not necessarily need to preclude creating like some innovation, right? Like, and trying something that might be outside of the parameters.
The journey here is our board is extraordinarily diverse and with lots of different perspectives. And so again, to Marla's point earlier, some folks will say, I didn't even think of it that way, right? So continually asking questions to sharpen the focus is important.